Excuse me, good people, and bad luck. It's your man, Rob Sergio Mack, with the Three Keys Podcast, and I got Nashville, Middle Tennessee royalty with me today. For anybody out there that is unfamiliar with Mrs. Clemmie G, you either living under a rock or you're trying to turn a blind eye to something that's the absolute truth. She is a highly decorated community activist. She is somebody that walks what she talks. She is somebody that has nothing but love and passion in her heart, not just for black children, but for all children, not just for black women, but for all women, not just for black people, but all people.
Thank you.
With no further ado, I'd like to welcome to the show, Mrs. Clemmie G. How you doing, Mrs. Clemmie?
I am good and well, and thank you for speaking that truth, because that is who I am.
I know, and you look amazing. Yeah. You always, you be putting it on.
Thank you. Yes, I do.
You be putting it on. So, Mrs. Clemmie, tell me a little bit of, where you from, how you came up.
Let me just say, I came up very poor.
Okay.
Just say I had a miserable, poor, child molesting, drunk, drugs, prostitution, sex trafficking, losing a son, having a baby early, dropping out of school life. All in a nutshell.
All in a nutshell.
All of that. Yes, I went from helping my grandmother and my mother feed chickens, pour the slop in the pig's opinion, and chase the horses around and swinging and picking pearls off a tree, to moving to South 8 and Shelby, 614 South 8 and Shelby, and being able to not come outside after 6 o'clock. We didn't really understand why my brother would always run in the house and put us under the bed, under the dresser, under the couch. They're shooting at us. And we're like, who's shooting at us? And say the white boys, because we don't supposed to be out after 6. We the third black family that moved over here, and they don't like it. Okay, and we didn't have a choice. We didn't want to move over here. But we found out it was the projects that white was in first. Okay, well, we neighbors.
Right.
So once that happened to me, that's where I could say my violence started, from where I first started seeing violence.
Mrs. Clemmie, you have a very, very good perspective on what sex trafficking is.
Oh, yes.
When most of us hear sex trafficking, we think simply of a pimp, a prostitute. But you unpack it in such a compelling way.
For day one, I was a little angry anyway, because they put sex trafficking on the word prostitution. See, it was prostitution, period, whether your boyfriend came and got you or the white man with the briefcase. But now everybody want to look at the afro and the Cadillacs and the diamond in the back, some top roof and all that. No, it just flipped over. The reason it flipped over to the Caucasian community is when they start calling it sex trafficking, making it something pretty. But it's not, it's still the same. So when I tell people that sex trafficking came in my life at 12 years old, going to the store, and I had no idea that the guy that I thought was my boyfriend, I wasn't supposed to have no boyfriend at 12, but I did. But anyway, my so-called boyfriend had already sold me out. So they was way ahead of me anyway, because they were older than me. And this is what's going on. These boyfriends and these predators, there's no pimps, they predators, and they are perpetrators. They are already getting all these girlfriends and luring them in by buying them stuff. And I ended up accepting a dress and a necklace. I tell people all the time, my story's in Huffington Post. A dress and a necklace cost me a hell of a price tag on my back. And so by me accepting that, now you owe them back. And how can you owe somebody back at 12 years old?
Right.
Like I'm saying today. How can these girls or these boys, because some boys, few boys getting sex trafficked.
Yes, ma'am.
But it's mostly talk about females. You owe a price. And when you're doing it with the boyfriend, you trust them so much, like I did. And once they get me to where they got me at, then they want to tell me this is what I have to do for them. And when you're gonna refuse. Now on my end, some people got jumped and beat. On my end, I got shot up with drugs. That's how I could say I first had my first intervened drug use of liquid cocaine. So you can be like a slump washcloth. When they tell me today, I don't see how she was in there that long. I don't see how nobody heard her. I'm telling all of y'all people that's listening, they drug you up. They put you in a little bitty cage, a little bitty room. They handcuff you and they put rags all down your mouth or tape off your mouth. So when not only that by itself, but the drugs. I am limp. I can't scream. I can't do nothing but lay there. Now, what sick mans want to torture women that can't do nothing? I ain't never understood that.
Right.
But I want to get it clear when people say they don't believe this girl was held 8 months. I don't believe this girl was held 3 weeks. It is true.
If there's any little piece of advice you could give somebody that's in danger, or if you're a parent and you see your daughter starting to move a little funny, like she may be following that boy that's about to try to turn her out or something, what could you say to that parent to maybe try to redirect that daughter? Is it anything?
Yeah, I beg parents all the time to, number one, pay attention. You know you didn't buy that bracelet. You know you didn't buy that necklace for her. You know you can't afford that $400 hair weave. You know, you them Jordans every other month. You got to start questioning your daughters. You got to. I mean, the attitude they gonna have one back with them. Because you're gonna be sorry if you don't. And then you're gonna see your daughter on a 1-800-MISSING page. And so I say to all of them, number one, call me and let me talk to your daughter. And I can promise you, I don't need number 15 minutes with her to let her know she's heading the wrong direction and try to get her to the right direction. So I ask every parent, get in those book bags, get in those phones, sit them down and ask questions. Quit coming in and telling me how was your day, but y'all going a separate way. Right. No, sit down and really ask, how was the day? She fell in love with this boy because we always have a crush as women, young girls. We'll have a crush. So when we got a crush on a boy, ooh, it ain't nothing y'all can do wrong. So I don't even see you setting me up. I don't see you getting ready to sell me until it's too late. I was 42 years old, and I was just tired. I was ready to give up. I had been stabbed in my back, mad because I didn't die, all that good stuff. And the last man that I trusted betrayed me again and tried to rape me, tried to sell me, and I stabbed him 5 times, and I was ready to kill him. I was trying to kill him. And so when I got arrested, I kind of got happy because at least I know I'm finna do 20 years in prison, and I'm kind of safe. I know you ain't all the way safe in prison, but I'm safer than I was out here. And but what happened after 9 months? The man flipped over, so they charged me with aggravated assault to flip it over to murder, but he didn't. And so when he came out of ICU and off the machine, he didn't want to press charges, and for some reason the state didn't take it up or the feds didn't take it up, and they let me out. So when they let me out, it was probably another 3 months, because again, wasn't nobody on the other side of that door waiting on me. Wasn't no cavalry there trying to guide me, no social worker, no therapist, no preacher, no nothing, other than the same pimps and players that want you to go back. And I think I went back to the streets probably about 3 more months, and a friend, well, she's my sister-in-law now, she's married to my brother, she was running the recovery house called Magdalene House, which is called this farm now, and somebody had told her where I'm at. And she came to the crack house and started leaving little notes in there. I love you, Magdalene love you, Jesus love you. Call this number, I'm coming to get you. And it probably was another 3 months that I finally, she got on my nerve, just let me say that. And that was the best nerve that somebody could have got on. And I finally called her. And when I called her, she immediately came and got me and put me in the program. I did the whole 2-year program because I didn't know anything. I didn't know how to read. I didn't know how to talk right. I didn't know how to do anything. So I went in there with a million questions, but I want to learn because I'm coming back now and help somebody because then nobody come back and help me. And that's a lonely, brutal feeling. And I want nobody to feel that. Nobody. I don't care who you is and what color you are. And so when I went through the program for 2 years. I graduated March of 2003. I went looking for my son because my son was running loose too. Remember, I'm out there on drugs too.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
we both on one side of town. And but when I ran into my son, I saw all of these bandanas tied across his wrist and coming off his neck and out of his pocket. Well, at first I thought it was cute because I love blue jeans and boots. So I thought it was just something fashion, yeah.
Yes,
It was December the 8th, 2003, and I got a phone call 8 months out of coming out of recovery that my son had just been murdered in Settle Court. That's when it was still called Settle Court, and he was shot in the back of a head, gang related. And I couldn't receive that because, you know, how can my son be shot in the back of a head?
Right.
And it's gang related. I mean, he's not in a gang or nothing. I mean, he wearing that stuff. But anyway, at the funeral, everybody was really betting that I'm gonna lose. That's my only child, so I'm gonna lose it. And I wasn't there to really raise him, so you already feel guilty. And I at the funeral, I promise it did something to me because number one, real quick, they were putting all them bandanas in this coffin, and I didn't know what that meant. Number two, when I got up there to speak, because you know you don't look back every time the door open. When I got up there to speak and turned around and where I'm able to see the church, it was overpacked, and I cried with joy because I felt if my son touched all these spirits. And all these people are here to see my son, because I asked y'all here for my boy. I didn't even know he knew that many people. Then that was the moment I think I received Jesus. And that was the moment that I said I would have no hate in my heart. I'm coming out here to get these boys. Before my son's death, he was at my house and he said, Mama, if anything happened to me, promise me you'll take care of my homeboys, my peeps. And I'm like, okay, boy, whatever crazy language that is. Well, this is what he meant. And this is why I jumped out to start helping gang members. That's what kept me going. That's what made me say, I got to be my own cavalry for real. And that's what made me jump out here with these other mothers.
You know what kind of woman you got to be to lose your son, but then help people save theirs?
Not really. You make me cry.
I mean, God bless you on every level with all you trying to do. April 6th, Mrs. Clemmie, this Community Day is something special. And you got some of the who's who of Nashville that's going to be there. Can you tell me a little bit about what made you want to put it on?
With my wedding, I'm not even gonna lie. You know, after all that I went through, I never thought I'd get married. You know, like you get men and like ain't nobody finna. You done heard that woman go through all that. You're not finna. But you get a real man like you and me, and I'm married. That they gonna look over all that and see the real person that you are. My wedding could not have been in a church, and because of that. I mean, I need everybody that can come to my wedding. When they hear Clemmie G from Tennessee and they get married, they coming. But that consists of all my peeps, my junkies, my hoes, my jailbirds, my homeless people. And they wouldn't have been able to get in them churches. The sagging pants, the girl with the cleavage show. They wouldn't have been able to get in there. But if I have it in the park, what happens? Everybody can get in there and say, I came to Clemmie G wedding. So it messed me up because, like you said, some of the who's who and elite and the elected officials and everything just showed up and it blew my mind. But when I saw that they showed me that much love, then I can't do nothing but show them love back. And that's how I ended up coming back with it again. Nice. But this time I just took the wedding part out.
When it comes to the community, especially the kids in the community, what can we do to help? Because we are living in a time where a lot of adults are scared of kids in the neighborhood.
You're scared of your own kids. Y'all almost got me scared of them now. But when I see the humble ones come to me, the hardcore, my grandson bought me 5 young boys. Every one of them had 5 guns apiece. All this military gun stuff. And you know what? They sit down to me and ask me if I can help find them a job. You talking about me crying earlier. That made me straight cry. And then you know what really made me cry? Because I couldn't.
I think it's a huge gap in what help even looks like. And like you said, people will throw money at organizations thinking that they done something, but those organizations aren't really helping the kids that are in the trenches. I mean,
you could go so long as a kid growing up like I did and see all of this development in your neighborhood, and you still wonder why you still got the same bologna sandwich or no bologna sandwich at all. You wonder why your mom's still on the bus stop freezing, and then go Lexuses and Bentleys and stuff parked in your car, your yard across the street. And you see somebody bringing in 4 pizzas and 4 bags of grocery 3 houses down, and you sitting on the porch wondering why you can only see that so much and so many times. And the real thing real quick about my Moms Over Murder group, the reason my Chels is growing because of the murder is what we just said. But the reason my moms are here, that many moms are in my circle, because these mothers do not have $100 an hour for therapy. They do not have the 10 care of the right insurance to go get the real help they need. So it was up to me to open up a door and bring them in and break bread and let them cry and scream and shout and see what we could do to help them get their head lifted back up. This is what everybody's listening for. I'm not ever begging nobody. I'm not asking nobody 100 times. I'm not even gonna do that. My work speaks for itself. Y'all see me out there. It ain't every time I see you, you're on TV. And I'm tired of being on TV. So won't you come and do something about it and help me stay off TV? Because see, I want to be on TV talking about who graduated. I want to be on TV talking about who bought their first house, who bought their first building, who got their new plaque. I don't want to keep being on TV every time Joseph and all of them got shot. Look, y'all. It's a beautiful life out here. I promise you, it really is. Matter of fact, I'm looking for 5 partners that'll come together, put $5,000 a piece. And I got the first 5. And let's go find something for us. Quit going into everybody else's building. You're under their rules. You're under their roof. I'm calling out anybody. I don't care who you are. You don't got to be black. You could be, your $5,000 is green. So we'll take that. But I'm asking for a black organization to be developed out here, 37208. And once we do this, we can mimic it somewhere else. It's a beautiful life out here. I promise y'all we can get this under control if y'all just switch up who y'all are giving your funds to, and this time decide to give it to NashvillePeacemakers.org.
Heard it here, good people. Royalty, the queen, Mrs. Clemmie G, Nashville Peacemakers, Mothers Over Murder. I'm going to tell you something, Mrs. Clemmie G, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I love you. Ain't nothing you can do about it.
Thank you.